Airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Oregon football.
Our connection, our toughness, our growing through moments, our DNA traits showed up at the end.
10, 5, bonus. Give me 6. Pressure. Boom. Dorless got to him again.
I just know how hard our guys work, and you love when they work hard, they get rewarded.
To the 10, 5, 6. Bucky Irvin. Can he get free on his feet? He does. Franklin scores. Ferguson turns and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. Touchdown, Ducks.
It was exciting for me to see our guys go out there and execute. I'm proud of them. I love them. So really grateful for that moment.
This is the Oregon Football Coaches Show on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Today's broadcast is also brought to you by Country Financial Insurance, Protect What Matters, and by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks! Drink Pepsi. Now let's go to the Country Financial Studios and talk Oregon Duck football.
Well, they just told you where we are from the Country Financial Studios. Jerry Allen Jorge and the head coach is in the house. It's our Toyota Coaches Show. We're back to do it again. And there's a reasonably big game coming up this Saturday. We may bring up if we get to. We got a lot of other things to talk about. First of all, thanks for coming in again.
Thanks for having me.
Always
fun.
I want to start out with a kind of a hard-hitting question, I guess, to get us off the ground right away. And this comes actually from a listener or a fan who wanted to know, and I said, I'll ask him that question. He's heard you say, when the hay's in the barn. He said, what does he mean by that? I said, I'll ask him.
Yeah, so the hay's never in the barn for us. When I was a high school coach, and even, back when I was a player, it was a really common statement, to say, like before a Friday night game, on Thursday after practice, guys, the hay's in the barn. Right, we've got our game plan in. We know what we're going to see, right? It's time to focus, and kind of move on.
Yeah.
In our program, we kind of have a saying that the hay's never in the barn, right? We always can prep. We always can keep working all the way up to the moment of the kick, right? And then it's about the next play and the next play after that. But the hay's in the barn is kind of like, as a farmer, you got your job done. Well, for us, job not done.
There you go, Don. Thank you, Coach.
There you go, Don.
I appreciate that.
I thought you were going to ask about shoes was going to be your first question. So.
No, I leave that for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know anything about it other than the colors I see in that type of deal. Pretty amazing. Obviously all the things coming out. I mean, it's more than the shoes, obviously.
The shoes are cool, though,
but
right?
they're cool.
Yeah, and credit to Kenny Farr for having a vision there. Credit to Nike, Motrell, student who went here, played here as a player, and then creating those shoes. Obviously, they look pretty awesome. And my favorite part of them as a coach is that they change colors when they heat up, right? So what's that mean? I know if these guys are practicing hard or not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if they're not working hard, the shoes aren't changing colors, then we got to get them moving. And let's just say we had a lot of colorful shoes at practice today and this week.
I imagine the players are saying, hey, Kenny, thanks for the shoes, but you're kind of giving us up. If we don't work very hard, we're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know if they figured that part out until they got to practice. I told every one of them the first day they wore them out there, I said, all right, I'm going to know if you're practicing hard or not. And now what's fun is the players are coming, Coach, look at my shoes.
Oh,
they're all,
okay,
they're heated up.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm
all
ready
right.
to work. So
It's our coach's interview brought to you by Pepsi and locally owned Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks, drink Pepsi. Your team took care of business on Saturday, did what you asked of them. What did you like about what they did on Saturday?
Yeah, I thought execution on both sides of the ball as far as the plays that we were running and what we were doing, I thought they did at a really high level. I thought we showed up in all phases, special teams, defense, and offense. And I thought that we were able to, win the game in a lot of carries. We took care of the ball and we took the ball away. Those are things you always look for. So really satisfied with some of those things that showed up.
You talked this week about your team being hungry to get better, and it feels like they're hungry. What do you see that makes you feel like they're hungry to get better?
Yeah, just focused on the play at hand. What's the next step? We always talk about going to the doctor and getting our medicine. I feel like a lot of guys are looking for things that they can attack to improve, which is great. And the way we curtail practice to what we need to get better at, they've always embraced that. We change things each time to meet our needs as a team, and they always embrace whatever we're doing.
How do you measure that, improvements or getting better? I mean, I know you got video, you're at practice, you see them, but what measurements do you take to say, yeah, you're getting better, you're improving.
Well, I mean, test day is Saturday, right? Test day is always Saturday. So we go to class Monday through, or really the whole week, right, up until Saturday. And you might have some quizzes along the way, right? We do a lot of move the field periods within practice where we try to mimic a game. We create a lot of different situations. And if you can see those guys getting A's, right, if they're passing the plays and passing the test, right, that's the secret.
I know it's always tough right after the game, post-game, to ask you questions about, what do you see and what until you look at the film, until you're able to do that. But you mentioned your team has come really close to playing a complete game, offense, defense, special teams. Is that through the film when you get a chance to finally see that you feel that way again?
Yeah, I feel like this last week we were really close outside of penalties, which was a frustration, and extended some drives for them and created some opportunities for the opponent. I thought we played really, a complete game.
I want to talk both sides of the ball with this question. That is, what are the biggest gains or improvements this team has made from last year to this? You got 3 games under your belt now. We'll start with the offense. Where have you seen improvements there?
Yeah, consistency and performance just from a standpoint of they know what's expected of them and being able to go out there and execute, adaptable. I think that's really big because in college you're never going to see the same thing 2 weeks in a row. So you have to carry some different nuggets for each week. I think our offense has been really adaptable based on the looks that we've seen. And obviously leadership is really showing up there too as well.
The other side of the ball, the defense, even to the non-coach and we see, I think, great improvement there.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to what I always hope we'll have here, which is strength in numbers. When you have a large number of guys that can play at a high level, I think it creates great competition on our team, but it also makes sure you have fresh guys out there to execute.
You're really getting a chance to evaluate a lot of players too. I mean, a lot of players in 2 of the 3 games in particular, and some of them even in the Texas Tech game, played valuable quality snaps. That really is important for you guys to be able to evaluate all those guys because you're going to need them sooner or later.
That's right. You either need them now or you're developing for later. And we have a lot of great talent in this program, and it's about figuring out a way to get that talent involved and on the field.
As you go along and you're trying to insert guys, a lot of guys played last week, as Jorge said. We've seen a lot of numbers on the defensive side of the ball particularly. That pays dividends in a game, but also later in the season with fresher legs. Is that something you try to build to?
Yeah, I mean, you want as many guys that can play winning football, right? Ready to play. And, ultimately for us, again, you always want to be developing because at some point in the season there's going to be a chink in the armor. Somebody's going to go down and you need the next man up and ready to roll.
Defensively, Coach, I felt like your players were in the right spot. I mean, coached to be in the right spot leading up to the Hawaii game, but not out of position very often. I mean, anytime a receiver caught a ball, a player was on him. Anytime a deep ball went down, somebody was on him. Your defense really played a solid game. Just from an assignment standpoint, it seemed like against Hawaii.
Yeah, we saw a lot of positives there. We also, after watching that film, said, okay, wait, how would you attack us based on what we just did? So we saw some things we can clean up too. But, yeah, execution has been at a premium for us, which is the secret to playing good football.
They took deep shots early. You guys defended them well. You're going to see that again this week with Colorado, too.
Yeah, absolutely. They have, I think, number 1 or 2 passing offense in the nation, and that there's a reason, right? They're operating at a really high level. They've got some dynamic players outside, dynamic backs. So they've got guys with speed that are going to certainly challenge us.
Push my cough button off there. When teams prepare for your defense, I look at your defensive tackles numbers, and there's no 1 or 2 guys that are way up above everybody else. This is a team, as a defense, all run to the ball well, and that's an advantage, isn't it, for defense?
Yeah, you want 11 hats to the ball, right? You want 11 hats to the ball. A lot of times people just focus on missed tackles. Well, the reality is if one guy misses a tackle and there's 8 more there or 10 more there to be there to tackle him, it doesn't turn into a big gain. So we want to run to the ball. That's something we put a premium on. We talk about relentless effort in our defense, and that's a part of it.
What I love about that, and Jerry, I'm glad you asked that question because you got a lot of guys that run in pursuit of the ball, making plays. Open field tackling obviously was really good against Hawaii, but the interior part of the line of scrimmage, you're playing a ton of guys being able to rotate in, a lot of guys that are getting quality snaps and playing really well.
Yeah, that's part of being fresh, right? If you want guys to run to the ball, it means you can't play 80 snaps a game, right? And especially on the defensive front. So when you have some guys that can play on the front and roll and make sure you're fresh in those moments, I think that creates, a high level of performance.
All right, we're back. In a moment, we're going to continue on with our Pepsi coaches interview. We are in our Country Financial Studio, where you find us every Wednesday night. Joey every day with Duck Insider. If we're here, we're in the Country Financial Studio. Thanks to them for being a part of this. And we will be back with more in just a moment here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Wherever you are in life, once a duck, always a duck. And that's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has helped the University of Oregon community take flight financially with great rates, lower fees, nationwide ATM access, and mobile banking. Earn more interest with remarkable checking, and show your duck devotion with a duck debit card. If you're a duck, you belong at OCCU. Go Ducks. Join OCCU. Learn more at myoccu.org/getduckdebit. Insured by NCUA.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
There's more Duck football around the corner.
Got him deep. He's open. He's got it. He's gone. 10-5. Touchdown, Oregon.
60 seconds away on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, son. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditout.together.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Welcome back inside our Country Financial Studios. I'm Jerry Allen. It's our Toyota Coaches Show. Jorgie's with me and the coach on our Pepsi Coaches interview, and just talking about the season so far before we look ahead to Colorado. And one of the things I want to talk about is kind of a coaching question, I guess, and that is football's a challenging game. I mean, it's a physical game. But how do you keep a young team or a young man in control of those emotions when you want him to fly almost a half inch out of control? I mean, that's a fine line.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to train it, right? We talk about composed aggression, composed response. In our program, that's been a big focus for us. The game's played between the whistles, so your focus has to absolutely be there between the whistles. But also outside the whistle, you have to really reset, right? You talk about hitting a reset button and focus on the next play. And I think that's something that we're getting better as a team.
Yeah, the game's such an emotional game, and we watched one with Colorado State going at each other, and the emotions in that game back and forth. And sometimes when it gets a little out of control, it can cost you. And in that game, not to point at one or the other, but Colorado State, a lot of penalties cost them the game.
Yeah, and ultimately, when you know how you're already going to react, when you've already planned for that, I think that the results, show.
Talked about the numbers game on defense, but your offense, particularly your running backs. I mean, throughout the game, you're rotating a lot of guys in there, fresh legs. They kind of complement each other, but how do you keep those guys hungry enough to want to get in? I mean, they all want to carry the ball every time, I'd imagine.
Well, I don't think there's any problem. We have no problem them being hungry enough, right? Any one of those guys really could go out there and carry the ball 30 times, but they want to do what's best for the team and create success for us. I think what's great about everybody on our offense right now is at the end of the day they want to win. Right, and sometimes that means, you might get the ball 25 times, right? But a lot of times it might mean you get 10. And what are you doing with your 10 opportunities? And I think those guys handle that really well.
Is it a luxury? I mean, you've got 3, 4, 5 really good running backs, not just some guys you get in and get a couple of plays from, but they all can run a ball.
Yeah, it's definitely a luxury, and it makes it challenging for a defense, just like I talked about rolling defensive linemen. When you can bring fresh back end to go out there and pound the rock with, or catch the ball at the backfield, which our guys are really good at. It creates a lot of issues.
What makes, and again, I don't mean to single in or focus in on a set group of 2 or 3 guys, but I am. I had some people ask me this week and said, talk about Bucky, talk about Noah, see if he'll talk about Jordan James, and what makes each of them unique in what they do, and sometimes the packages they end up in.
Yeah, they all have different skill sets, but they also all can do things at a really high level, and I think we try to accentuate their skill sets. Bucky has great vision. He has the ability to hit at any hole. Noah's a really good one-cut runner at times. Like, he can get vertical, super selfless guy that just wants to do whatever he can to help the team. They're all physical. Jordan James has had a really big role for us this year in special teams. He's at one point in fall camp, I told our Coach Lorig that he needs to start on every special team, and he was. And he has for us at times this season. But then he's been able to, do things also in the run game as well. So excited to see all those guys do a good job for us.
You showed us a lot in that last game. 21, 22, 23. Yeah, different formations, stuff we have not seen this year. And it was fun to watch. But there are those people who will say, don't show too much early. You don't want to give that away. And then others will say, well, show them all you got. They have more work they got to do. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, it's probably somewhere in between. But hopefully every single week we're showing them something they haven't seen yet.
Going to be fun this week. I mean, the crowd last week for Hawaii was fantastic. Students are starting to drift back in. No more drifting. They're here now.
They're here.
This weekend's really going to be special in this stadium. It is every single week, but there are those games that this just feels like one of them, doesn't it?
Yeah, we need the fans to be out there, be loud and proud. They need to make an impact on this game, and I know they will, right? But that's part of what makes this place so special. Not everybody in the nation's fortunate enough to have fans like ours, and I know they're going to show out and perform.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Shout. That alone is worth the price of admission.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we got a quick break in. A Pepsi coach's interview. We're on a Country Financial Studios here at the Toyota Coaches Show. I'm Jerry Allen with Jorge Coach. We're right back, and we'll talk about the next opponent, Colorado, coming up here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Go Ducks!
It's made, turn, don't deny me the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon.
This is Oregon football from Learfield.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside our Country Financial Studios. It's our Toyota Coaches Show. Head coach Dan Lanning here with Jorgie and myself, and we're getting ready to talk about Colorado. Before we do, during the break, we were talking about one of the segments that you do practice-wise with the team, which is totally different than smashing into each other. It's the opposite. Yoga. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's been something we want to incorporate. You know, it's about getting our guys back, their bodies fresh after some intense action on the weekends, and you know, really it's even more than that, understanding how to be mindful, understanding how your breath can, you know, have a real impact on your ability to create a calm and create a focus within yourself. So we do a lot of things throughout the week. Recovery car wash, where we send guys through all types of things. You know, we have guys on our team that do acupuncture. We have massage therapists that can, you know, help our guys. Chiropractors, all those pieces are parts of what we incorporate. But yoga is something we do with the entire team.
Yeah, I'll participate in yoga, the acupuncture.
Recovery.
You're not interested in the acupuncture? Some of our guys love the acupuncture deal. I've never done that, but I'm interested.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah. You had a chance, you and the team had a chance to watch that game live last week, Colorado State. Your thoughts on the Buffs?
Yeah, they're out here competing. It's obviously a completely different team than it was last year. You know, Coach Sanders has done a good job creating a ton of excitement around their program. I think that makes college football fun.
Shooter Sanders is much like a lot of the quarterbacks in the Pac-12, just really, really good, and you're going to face that every week. So this is an opportunity to go against one of the best.
Yeah, you're the quarterback, right? And I think he's done a great job of executing their system at a high level, and he's got some weapons around him he can take advantage of.
You played a game like that last week where they really had to gut it out, had to come back, had to drive the length of the field. Shooter Sanders got beat around a little bit and yet came through. And it's almost that type of game where, like I talked to you about with the Texas Tech game, you learn a lot, even more about players and teams in tight situations like that.
Yeah, I've never seen a great team that didn't experience some adversity, and obviously they had a little bit last week. But, you know, each game and each week is, you know, a play into itself. It's a new time.
Defensively, a really good active corner in Shiloh Sanders, one of Coach's sons, and also safety Trevor Woods, and a big inside linebacker. But defensively, they move around pretty well. Talk about their defense and coming from the edge, because your offensive line's done a great job protecting Bo.
Yeah, they present a lot of different looks. Their defensive coordinator, Charles Kelly's a guy that I have a lot of respect for, and he uses those guys in a lot of different ways. But they have some weapons over there on that side of the ball. I think everybody talks about their offense all the time. They don't realize that there's some good players over there on their defense.
Coaching staff. I mean, you just mentioned one of them right there. You know, Coach Sanders has been able to really put together a great staff on both sides of the ball, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got a great group of coaches around him, and I think they're getting a lot out of their players.
All right, you're going to be wearing the Nike Vapor Edges on the sideline?
What is that? The shoe?
That's the shoe. Yeah.
Wait, the change color shoe?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were dunk. I thought they were Kenny Farr dunks. I don't know, but either way.
Oh, okay.
Either way,
right. Yeah.
I probably will not be wearing them. No, no. But if I was, I promise you they'd be colorful. They'll be.
No doubt about it. Coach, we'll let you get out of here and continue on for the week. You got another couple of days and. Well, I was going to say then the hay will be in the barn, but it's never
hay in the barn. Hay's not in the barn.
Not in the barn. All right, Coach. Thanks. Pepsi Coaches interview here in our Country Financial Studios. I'm Jerry Allen. We're going to come back. Joey is up next. He's got a special. Is he in here yet? No. Okay, I can't even talk about him. Coming up on our player interview next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Wherever you are in life, once a duck, always a duck. And that's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has helped the University of Oregon community take flight financially with great rates, lower fees, nationwide ATM access, and mobile banking. Earn more interest with remarkable checking, and show your duck devotion with a Duck debit card. If you're a duck, you belong at OCCU. Go Ducks. Join OCCU. Learn more at myoccu.org/getduckdebit. Insured by NCUA.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Go Ducks!
Go Ducks! Give it to me, baby! My house! I'm taking it there!
This is Oregon football from Learfield.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Welcome back. It's the Toyota Coaches Show. I'm Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Marcus Harper is here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is his second time in the Country Financial Studio. We have a tradition, 2-minute life story. Well, you already did it. Okay? But now I'm going to give you a take 2. For the 2-minute life story. Now, we got a stopwatch. You know the drill. I don't think I have to explain this to you again, do I?
Nah, we got it.
So, have you been rehearsing? Like, are you ready for this? You ready to go?
I'm trying to see how can I make it better from the last time.
I mean,
because last time was fantastic.
Look, it is.
That's what I'm saying. How can I one-up that?
It's all about improvement in football.
That's what I'm saying,
right?
yeah. You got it 1% better.
All right, so let's be 1% better. 2-minute life story, Marcus Harper, go.
Okay. We wake up, guys, and the cheeseburger was in one hand. But then at a very young age, we also get introduced to the milkshake, okay? We boycott just solid foods, okay? And now for the rest of my life.
What'd you do, blend up the cheeseburger?
Listen. We boycott solid foods.
Okay.
We go straight to milkshakes.
Okay.
We get introduced to just vanilla milkshakes at the age of 6, okay?
All right.
Just first 5 years, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
6 years old, vanilla milkshake.
Yeah.
We get to the age of 12, we get introduced to Oreos. Oreo milkshake.
And then, yeah, difference maker.
From there, oh my goodness.
All right, I feel okay. I gotta give everybody some context. So I asked for the 2-minute life story on every one of these, right?
Goodness.
And we've had student athletes go a lot of different directions. Marcus Harper, without any prep on media day, just goes, here's the story of my food progression in my life. I feel so bad that I asked you to do it again because I don't think it could ever be replicated.
I mean, I went straight to cheeseburgers today.
That was 58 seconds, by the way.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
That was great.
That was such a high standard, I said. I'm sorry, Marcus.
That was really well done.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Hey, okay, in all seriousness, though, it's one of the best 2-minute life stories. I mean, you're of legend. You got to understand, in the Country Financial Studio, you are legend
We need
now.
a wall of best 2-minute stories.
I think the whiteboard's getting adjusted tonight.
Cool. All right, cool. All right.
The closest time-wise is 1:59.56.
But was the purity and the juice of the story well?
I mean, it was a solid story.
Yeah, solid. No, nah.
But
it wasn't the food. It wasn't the food progression story. Nothing can beat the food progression story.
Wasn't a milkshake. Hey, in all seriousness, now, all right, hard-hitting questions coming your way now. Okay.
Stop.
Marcus Harper the second.
Yeah.
Tell me about the first.
My pops. He played high school football at Hyde Park in Illinois. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So I didn't get big marks just from being coming from a small family. The fam's a little tall. Dad's about 6'7".
6'7".
Yeah, just a little bit. Nothing crazy. But he wouldn't let me play football until high school.
Really?
He just knew. He was like, "You're gonna be a lineman," and so then he was like, "I played like flag. I played everything: flag, basketball. I beat him in basketball when I got to like 14." And in freshman year, he was like, "All right, you can go play," and then now I'm here. But yeah, no, that's the homie.
You're laughing. I feel like there's so much more that we can unpack on this.
Because most people just don't know. Like, most people just call me Marcus Harper.
Right.
Marcus Harper the second. Like, you did some digging, so you know about Pops. But Pops that's cool. That's cool, dude. Yeah. So he came out here last year for UCLA game. And I'm looking for him because I knew he was out here. I'm looking for him at the end of the duck walk. And if I can get this video, I got it on my phone. And he's just 6'7".
Yeah.
Big Mark. Yeah. And both his hands, I'm like, sir, you're already 6'7". So you just struck your hands up. Now you're 6'10". Put him down. But nah, so my dad is he's one of my biggest fans, and I love him. So
that's awesome. What about the rest of your family? Tell us about your family.
Got my mom, Tawana Harper. She came out here for Utah last year. And boy, it was cold. It was so cold. I'm looking for my mom in the HDC, looking for her and stuff, and she was just like, "Look, baby, I had to go to the car. It was cold." But she's my other biggest supporter. And then I got my little brother too, Justin Harper. He's how old is he? About 14, 15, 16. In that age bracket.
So he's gonna start beating you in basketball soon.
He's already beaten me in basketball. So he's already beaten me up actually.
Oh.
But yeah, nah. Is
he also 6'7"?
No, he is 6'2". So I'm 6'4".
Approaching.
He's there. Yeah. His voice is deep in there. First off, let's talk about younger siblings.
Okay.
Younger siblings, I don't know what gets in them. They think just because they're taller than you at a certain age. What I don't like either. So I don't know if anybody can see that. I don't have a lot of like visual facial hair. Like I still kind of got a baby face.
But the hair looks great.
The hair, thank you.
Yeah.
I try. So my younger brother has like I don't say full. He has like the under chin stubble. And like I said, he's like 14, 15, 16. So he sent me a picture of it. I'm like, what do you think? What am I supposed to do with that? But yeah, no, that boy, he's a junior in high school now. He plays DN. And I commend him for it because like people asked him to play O-line, and he was just like, nah, that's kind of that's what he was like. That's what my brother did, and I don't want to kind of be forced into expectations that he was on. I kind of want to create my own path.
Right.
So shouts out to Justin.
So okay, family dynamics here. I mean, the Thanksgiving backyard football game. I mean, I'm just imagining an O lineman and a D lineman just. The Harper brothers just crashing.
That's the one day I get to enjoy food. I'm not touching no food. I'm not finna rough you up, dude. I'm not doing that. Not on Thanksgiving.
That's great.
I'm not doing that.
Marcus Harper with us. So last time you were here, we discussed how offensive linemen, you're referring to yourselves as dense human beings.
Dense, yes.
Right?
I'm still sticking to that.
See, I remember that. So dense human beings.
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you know, like, I'm going to be an O-lineman? You touched on this a little bit, but was it always like, I'm going to be an offensive lineman and play football? Like, when did you have this realization in your life?
I was forced into it. So I remember my first day of high school football, and mind you, like I said, I never played football. So, I mean, everything was all new and everything. So I'm sitting, I'm kneeling down, and it's freshman football, so all the big boys go over here and all the skills stay over here.
Yeah.
And I look at all the bigs go, and I'm just look at them run over it in the distance. I'm like, oh, okay, look at those guys go. So then I sit there, and Coach, one of my assistant coaches, Coach Fudd, he was like, hey, big boy, hey, you right there, let's go. So it was kind of forced upon me. And then I remember, because, freshman football, people fidget all around places or whatever.
Yeah.
And they put me at D-line for one play. And they were like, yeah, get back on the O-line. Fun fact, though, I was a running back for one play my freshman year of high school.
How'd it go?
I fractured my ankle. So
What?
I fractured my ankle. Yeah. So
I've never heard that story.
So I lined up.
This isn't in the bio, everybody.
No.
I couldn't find
this is
that
raw.
one.
This is raw and uncut. No, because I'm not gonna post that. What I look like? So I messed around, and it was the last game. We were playing Bolingbrook High School, and I think at the time it was the tradition got banned because of me. So they were like, yeah, if we're up to score and everything like that, all the freshmen O-linemen, they get a chance to run the ball or whatever. Cool. I get out there, I'm sitting in the backfield like I'm Melvin Gordon, because Melvin Gordon was at Wisconsin at the time. So I'm sitting back there, and no understanding of intent of plays, where I'm supposed to hit, anything like that. I just know I get the ball and I'm running straight behind the center. So I get the ball, I go, hit the gap. I feel somebody hit my left ankle. Boom. Okay, cool. I'm a dense guy. I'm cool. I'm not gonna go down easily. Then I just feel somebody else just over the top.
Oh no.
And then the ankle was a little bit, it was a little fractured.
Just a little
bit. Yeah, just a little bit. And I was in the boot for like 4 weeks. Yeah. So no more running back at Homewood Flossmoor High School.
Well, I think that offensive line worked out for you.
It kind of did. I'm doing good at this position. So, yeah.
Here at Oregon, right?
Yeah.
So, this is going to be a triggering question. I'm just going to warn everybody, okay? So, Dorless was in here last week.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. So, I asked Brandon Dorless this. Do offensive linemen hold every play?
Oh, my God. You asked him of all people.
Of course. So now I'm
what
did
he say?
He said, of course they do.
Okay.
Now, as an offensive lineman, I would like to give you the following week the chance to defend the honor of offensive linemen everywhere.
Okay.
Do offensive linemen hold every play?
What are we defining as holding?
Great answer. That's a perfect
What are we
answer.
defining as holding?
If the referee throws the flag.
Then that's holding.
Okay.
Anything up – technically, D linemen are holding too. Why are your hands on me for a long period of time as you're shedding a block? That's holding.
Right.
But that never gets called. So why, when I do it, all of a sudden it gets penalized, it's a flag thrown, the camera's on me, it's a negative thing. So,
follow-up question.
Yes.
Do defensive linemen hold every
Absolutely. Absolutely they hold. Absolutely. I can name 3 people who do it on a regular basis. I'm not going to do that, though.
I rest my case.
Yes. Defensive lineman.
Court adjourned.
Yes.
What happens when you engage a guy? Like, do you know in the trench as soon as you hit him, like, I'm going to beat you?
Yes.
Like, how important is that first step?
It's very important. For first step is just that's who's going to win that rep. You know what I'm saying? If you have slow foot fire, you're not going to win that rep, you know? So, first you got to get those feet in the ground quick, right? Yeah. You got to get your momentum started before he gets his hands on you because, they're better athletes than us. But they're in the more natural thing because they're coming forward.
Different athletes.
They're different athletes. I like that. Yeah. Okay. They're different athletes.
Yeah.
They're in a more natural thing because they're coming off. They're pushing off forward, and we're in a stance, and we have to generate force going forward in an unnatural, motion. So, like I said, foot fire is very much important, and then getting your hands on the defender, and then from the rest of it after that, it's kind of just your personal will, how you want to demoralize the guy. It's kind of fun though.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
We're going to talk more about the fun in the trenches.
Yeah.
Marcus Harper II. We already heard about Pops.
Yeah.
Senior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got more coming up. He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Marcus is.
Born and raised.
I got questions.
Oh, God.
They involve pizza.
Oh, yes.
Okay. We're in the Country Financial Studio. It's the Toyota Coaches Show. Marcus Harper's with us. One more segment after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, On Point is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways On Point can help support your financial well-being. On Point Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
More gridiron action in 1 minute.
Gonna throw. Oh, what a play for the middle. Touchdown, Oregon.
Coming your way on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We led off with Marcus Harper with food. We're in
Pizza.
the Country Financial Studio. That's right. We're back. It's the Toyota Coaches Show. Our player guest is Marcus Harper. One more time. One more time for Harp.
Pizza.
Okay.
All right, let's get to
So
it.
you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you have strong feelings about this. The different
Absolutely.
styles. Okay. Well, our coordinating producer, Ellen,
Yes.
she's also from Chicago.
Hey, okay,
So
okay.
Ellen's just outside the studio right now, and
Okay.
when she knew you were coming on the show,
Yeah.
she's like, you got to ask.
Yeah.
Where did you get your deep dish from at home?
Okay.
Like, where was the best?
I went to Giordano's, but Lou Malnati's is the better place to go.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was in and out, so I didn't have a chance to like sit and really dive into it. But I went to Giordano's, and this is not bad. But Lou Malnati's is a better place to go.
Okay. So next time I'm in Chicago,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm taking notes.
It's mandated.
And is deep dish the best
Yes.
form? Is it the only form?
It's not the only form.
Okay. All right.
Is it the best form? It just depends on like how much you can handle, cause like it's thick. Like I don't know if anybody's had deep dish pizza.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
No, I believe that it is
Yeah.
the best form of pizza.
yeah, but
I am
another thing too. Like you're gonna have leftovers. Like first off, if you mentally sit there,
You're gonna have leftovers.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I eat one slice, maybe I'm 1.5 for sure.
All right.
But I don't eat. You can't eat a whole deep dish. I mean, and they don't cook it to where it's this big, gargantuous pan. But I mean, the size pan that it is, stop. Like it's too much.
You're getting your bang for your buck.
You're getting your bang for it because it's about 45-ish minutes to cook. Look at me, I know all the ingredients and stuff.
I knew you would.
It's 45 minutes to cook on 450. No, but it's about 45 minutes to cook, and when it comes out, it's gonna be like hot and yeah, it's worth your buck, but one slice.
Chicago's finest,
Yeah,
right here.
yeah, for
Marcus
sure,
Harper.
for
Okay,
sure.
hard-hitting questions. You ready?
Okay.
All right. We'd already talked about some of the technical aspects of
Yes.
being an offensive lineman.
Yep.
What makes a good O-lineman? Like younger offensive linemen that are listening to this, what
Yeah.
would you tell them?
Great hip mobility. So a lot of O-linemen like to bend at their waist, and that's bad because when you get to this level, a lot of guys have more developed moves, and they're not just using just one move that worked in high school. So having great hips, I would say, is number one. So if you have great hip fluidity, that is like top tier. Number two, I would say fast feet. Have you already a bigger guy, what would make you be less valuable is if you're big and you have slow feet. So if you have great hip mobility, because again too, D linemen come in different shapes and sizes, just like O linemen do too. If you have great hip mobility, you can be able to get underneath the defender and roll off a defender like this. And it's something so small, but a lot of O linemen do not have great hip bend, so a lot of stalemates happen at the line of scrimmage. You can't displace a defender. That hip mobility is very essential, I feel like, for a great offensive lineman.
Coach Lanning was just talking with Jerry and Jorgie about yoga.
Yeah.
That aspect. Like that's a big deal. It sounds.
Yeah,
like.
absolutely. Because I mean, we're essentially sitting in a chair like this. Like that's our natural state. So hip mobility and hip strength obviously are always those things that you got to keep in mind. But always keeping those things as fluid as possible. So like I said, good hips, good feet, and great hands too.
Yeah.
A lot of younger linemen. I was, a victim of this too. Coming out of high school, a lot of leaners in pass pro. So boxing has helped keep that coordination and keep your hands together. Just because they have the same principles that a boxer uses, the same motions, everything like that. So I would say great hip mobility, great feet, and great hands.
How about versatility, like along the offensive line? You're a guy I feel like that could play all five positions. Like how much pride do you take in that?
I mean, that's great. One, for my football IQ. I know what the left side is doing, what the right side is doing, and mainly importantly, what the center does too. And understanding the different technicalities that come with each position. Tackles they're more on an island, and their point of contact takes a lot longer to get to.
Sure.
Guard, it's a lot more instantaneous. And then center, unless you have your sliding protection or you have a guy in the gap or whatever, your work's right in front of you right now. And you also have to get the snap down, worrying about not formations, but fronts and everything like that. Getting the calls out to the other lineman, make sure they're on one page. So being able to do that along the line is very important. For sure.
Similar line of thinking, with that versatility and learning and coaching. Tell us a little bit about your teacher and Coach Terry. I mean, take us inside a position group meeting with Coach Terry.
So we start every morning with a prayer, and then after we break our prayer, we always talk about the 3 goals that we want to achieve: the Joe Moore Championship, the Joe Moore Award, Pac-12 championship and a national championship. Like, we see those religiously day in and day out. Then after that, I like he does like yes sirski moments. So kind of like your highlight plays of practice or whatever, the good things that we saw. And then we get into more of our scout corrections and things of that nature. When we're not, that's in the morning meeting. When I'm in special teams meeting for punt or whatever like that, we do. I've heard he has some crazy stories about just traveling, what he's seen in the NFL and things like that. So it's a lot more laid back and chill, but it's a fun environment to be in every single day. And it's always something new with Coach Terry. And obviously, like, I had Coach Terry when I was here as a freshman, 2020 as a GA. So me and him both have kind of grown up together at the same amount of time. And so it's always great to have him in that room. It's great to have him as a coach, and just seeing the maturation process for him is huge.
I ask this now as a half joke, but I'm being dead serious, and I'm going to stereotype here. You and I have discussed this.
Yeah.
Offensive linemen tend to be some of the most entertaining interviews on any football team.
Absolutely.
Why?
Why? I can give you a plethora of reasons. One, we're never in front of a camera. When we get the chance to be in front of a camera, we take any opportunity to use that as I have done several times.
And done well.
And have done well. Thanks.
That's right.
We get it, like I said, so we get that fame. We all have it, but our position is selfless, so we can't. I'm not Troy Franklin. I'm not gonna be getting the touchdowns and all this the crazy.
But
route.
the pancake block on film always is great.
Yeah, it will be, but it's not much appreciated in longevity term. Everyone's always gonna remember the route that got this opening touchdown or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I like pancakes. Okay.
Me too. Yeah. But okay, are you a buttermilk pancake guy?
I'm a sourdough pancake.
What?
You gotta understand this. My wife has a 70-year-old sourdough starter.
Okay.
It's the best thing I've ever had for pancakes.
Buttermilk pancake?
Buttermilk.
Okay, so I think you're outnumbered. Sorry, not sorry.
Anyway, back to the question.
Food conversations.
Yes, we're back.
Food conversations.
You've come full circle.
You've come full circle. It's a topic that you can always fall back on. Yeah. Everyone eats. If you don't.
That's true.
Everyone eats.
Yeah, it is essential.
It's a natural topic that we can talk about.
It is essential.
And then there are always things that people just don't think about, like clothes shopping. I don't know. No one ever asked me about my fashion, which, I mean, right now it's not the greatest, but I mean.
Hey, I got to tell you, look, I asked on the Coaches Show, I asked Jeffrey Bassa because of you.
We did. That is true.
Because Marcus interviewed Jeffrey Bassa as part of Media Day. We aired it on Duck Insider in August. You asked him about his fit, so I actually asked him, like, give us your best fit, and he gave a great answer.
Yeah. So, I mean, some offensive linemen don't partake in the best fits category just because it's like, we're big boys, and if you want some of the, nicer things, it's, it's gonna cost a pretty penny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So some people just do the classic, like, hoodies, sweats, whatever.
The hoodie sweat looks good to me.
The hoodie sweat, that's what I'm saying. It's a nice everyday look, but, on special occasions I will,
get up for dinner.
I will get up for dinner, absolutely, yeah. But when I do it in a great fashion.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right. We're running out of time. I could talk to you for hours. Marcus Harper, the second.
Yeah.
I always end with this. Well, I got two more for you, okay?
All right, cool.
But let's just your thoughts on these cleats and our guy Kenny Farr. I mean, this is tremendous, right?
I'm so mad I can't put them on.
Look at this.
I'm so mad I can't put them on.
Wait, you got – well –
it's a weight restriction.
No! Harp!
It's a weight restriction, and I'm not within the –
I had no idea.
Yeah. No, trust me.
Can we put them on your shelf?
Listen, I don't even need to put them on. I just need to have them in my line of sight. But, I mean, they're fantastic. I mean, Kenny, a great mind. Yeah. Kenny's a great person to talk to on a day-to-day basis.
I should have asked you this off the air.
Yeah.
That one's on me, folks. That one's on me.
But, yeah, those are some great shoes. I mean, like, we going to look great on Saturday.
Always.
As always.
Lastly, keys to success this weekend. What's it going to take to get a win?
We're just going to play our game. Play our game and do what the Oregon Ducks do, and then the result will speak for itself.
Crowd's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. School's back in session. Everyone's going to be back there. 12:30 kickoff. It's going to be great.
Marcus Harper. Well done. The only 2-minute life story that has ever included cheeseburgers and milkshakes.
It's a great story. It's a great story.
It's a great story.
It's a great story.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Yep, appreciate it.
Thank you. Marcus Harper with us, Toyota Coaches Show. One more segment. Jerry and Jorgie back with us. Final preview of that 12:30 kickoff from the Country Financial Studio next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Amethyst and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Welcome back inside our Country Financial Studios. That's the most fun I've had watching an interview in years.
Oh,
the guy's
so
amazing.
Fun.
He is.
Yeah, he's so much fun. Yeah. When he, so it was actually 2 years in a row on Media Day that Jeff Bossa got interviewed by Not Me, because the student athlete who came in around the same time as him is someone who wants to do this kind of stuff. This year it was Marcus Harper. It's on the Go Ducks YouTube if you go back to Duck Insider, the first week that we did Duck Insider in August. I mean, he's phenomenal, you know.
Personality. Personality. Plus.
I mean, when he told that initial 2-minute life story on Duck Insider, Scott and I were crying. I mean, his entire life story, everyone, was just, here's the foods that I progressed to eating in my life.
I saw that. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Anyway, you know, I think I asked him, 5 minutes about football today?
Yeah. He's just being honest. That's who he is.
Yeah,
you know?
It is.
I can't wait to go to Chicago now and try that pizza.
Oh. Well, I got to ask Ellen, our coordinating producer, I got to ask Ellen if those are spots she knows. So we'll report back on Duck Insider tomorrow or on the pregame show at 10:30 on Saturday.
I didn't play football till high school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty unbelievable, too.
It's just natural talent.
Yeah.
That's, he's
true,
gifted.
True.
He's really gifted. All right. We talked about food. We do have a game this weekend.
Yeah.
I love that start time. 12:30 start. We're on the air at 10:30 with a pregame show, but it's one of the bigger games Oregon's been involved in a while. They each lead to something else, but this is the next big one.
Pretty amazing the attention that's come to Colorado this year, and they've earned it. They've played well versus the way they've played in the past. But you know, to see all the attention that's going to Colorado right now, and Oregon's going to be right in the middle of it, which is going to be cool. But at the same time, Oregon's used to it. They've been in that type of situation before. They've played in big games. They've played in national games where all the eyes are on them. This time it's going to be on Colorado and Oregon, and I can't wait to see the electricity and feel the electricity around the stadium and in the stadium when it comes game time.
We'll talk about our keys to the game on Friday, but for you, I mean, what do you think?
Well, I think it continues to come back to penalties. You know, Coach Lanning's talked a lot about if the Ducks don't beat themselves, they've been successful this year. I think that we've seen that play out in multiple games. Ducks went 3-0 in non-conference games. I think that's going to be true. Look, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance around this game. It is a big game, as you alluded to, right, Jordy? Like, you can't get around that. And so, for me, I think it's what Marcus Harper actually said. It's, hey, play your game if you're the Ducks. I think you're going to be successful. Ducks are good enough. So I'd say limit penalties and play clean football. And
run the ball, baby. Run the ball. Can't
run.
Always. We have never make it through a show without run the ball.
Has that been true for 35 years?
I don't know if that was true early on. No. It used to be pass the ball. Pass, because he was a quarterback,
Right.
So pass the ball.
Right.
But he's changed. He finally wised up. All right. 10:30 pregame show, 12:30 kickoff. Can't wait. Crowd is going to be zany crazy. I'm looking forward to the atmosphere. Oregon has been in these situations before. This is new. They know how to handle it, right? All right, we've been there.
It'll be fun.
Act like you've been there. All right, let's go. See y'all on Saturday at Autzen. Bye-bye. God bless everybody.
This has been the Oregon Football Coaches Show on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Tonight's show has also been brought to you by Country Financial Insurance. Protect what matters.